What's up, guys? The co-main event for UFC 230 is Chris Weidman against Jacare Souza, however you want to say it. Originally, this was Chris Weidman against Luke Rockhold 2, and we all know, if you've seen that fight, that was an absolutely amazing fight. And those two kind of had a little bit of a rivalry and like a grudge match kind of thing. But unfortunately, Rockhold had to pull out due to an injury, and then Jacare stepped in. And like I put in the video earlier, that's a pretty good consolation prize. You know, Jacare's not just a nobody that they're kind of throwing to the wolves. I mean, Jacare's a legitimate threat. He's been in the UFC a very long time, and if you go through his record, he has beaten a ton of big-name fighters.
This is a very interesting matchup.
Very interesting matchup.
Because we know Chris Weidman wants to wrestle, but we know Jacare has killer, ground game.
Yep.
That's why they call him the alligator. He gets you down there and he drowns you pretty much. So.
Well, and I stated in my video that I talked on a couple weeks ago that, you know, Jacare probably is top 5, and you could make an argument for probably the best jiu-jitsu in the UFC. But Chris Weidman's a black belt also with, you know, an All-American pedigree in wrestling. So I don't think Chris Weidman is going to initiate any type of takedowns, but he might feel very confident and he might try it. So we don't know. But that's what's intriguing about this fight is you have Chris Weidman, who obviously he's a stud. You know, he's only had 3 losses in the UFC, and one was to Luke Rockhold. It was an absolute amazing fight. Then he got Yoel Romero's knee of death to the dome, which he was winning that fight the whole time.
Everyone, I feel like, is beating Romero, and then Romero just lands that one big explosive, punch or knee or whatever.
Well, and then his third fight that he lost was to Gegard Mousasi when that knee, they didn't know if that knee was legal. So really, 2 out of his 3 losses were, whatever. So Chris Weidman's a killer is what I'm trying to say. You know, a lot of people wrote him off and they don't think he's very good. I personally think Chris Weidman's going to win this fight. I think he has more tools, in his belt than Jacare does. I don't think Jacare is really a threat to Chris Weidman standing up. Not that he can't, maybe land something, but Jacare is really dangerous on the ground. So I'm going to pick Chris Weidman winning probably a decision as well. I think Souza's tough to beat. He's gritty, he's tough. Chris Weidman might land something and win via TKO, but I think he's going to win via decision. So,
see, I'm going to agree with you. I was going back and forth there for a while because I know Jacare, he does have some decent stand-up. You know what I mean? He's caught people in the past. He has some power. And then his ground game is just wicked. I haven't seen anyone really roll with him. Besides, did he fight Rockhold? Did Rockhold dominate him? I don't know. Maybe I'm
not sure. I was looking at his record the other day, and I was actually pretty shocked. Like, dude, this guy's literally fought everybody. Like, all the who's who, he's fought them all.
But I'm going to have to agree with you. I just think Chris Weidman is just gritty. You know what I mean? He's just going to find a way to win as long as he doesn't get stopped. That's that's the way you beat Chris Weidman. You have to stop him. You know what I mean? Or else he's going to keep coming forward if he's bloody or whatever. He's going to keep putting on that pressure, and that's that like old school wrestling mentality. You know what I mean? Never say die. So I'm gonna say the same as you. I'm gonna go Chris Weidman. I'm gonna go decision also.
Well, and this fight probably has title implications on it too, because you have what's his name, the guy from New Zealand, Robert Whittaker, who was fighting
Kelvin Gastelum.
Kelvin Gastelum for the title. Well, if you remember, Chris Weidman beat Kelvin Gastelum via head and arm, and then Jacare lost to Kelvin Gastelum.
The division below that, actually, now they're fighting up a weight class.
So this, this fight probably, I would assume, will give a shot to the winner. The winner of Jacare Weidman will probably get a shot at whoever wins between Whittaker and Gastelum. So Chris Weidman's always been hungry ever since he lost his belt. He's always said, I'm the champion and I'm champion worthy. So Chris Weidman via decision, we both got it, and then after that, we'll see what happens. So let us know once again in the comments below what you think. If you think Weidman's going to do it, or is Jacare going to pull off something?
Hold on, I want to say something. I think if Robert Whittaker wins this fight, then definitely it's going to be the winner of Jacare. and Chris Weidman.
Mm-hmm.
But if Kelvin Gastelum wins that fight, I think it's gonna be Kelvin versus Romero.
That'd be a good fight.
Interesting fight too.
Very, very interesting.
Because I think they want to keep giving Romero that fight. Some people even think he won the rematch versus Whitaker.
Yeah.
So,
It
was close.
It was close.
He knocked him down. Yeah. So
I could see that both ways. I could see it both ways. Well, that's the best thing about. I feel like the UFC's getting back some traction again. You know, like the fights are more exciting and they're becoming great fights. Like they went through like a little lull to where it was kind of boring and well, not for us, but you know, the excitement factor wasn't there. So. You know, and I think anytime you put title implications on a fight, it makes it even better because both guys want it so bad. You know, they got that no quit attitude. So, but let us know in the comments below who you got, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We can't wait for tomorrow, and we'll chat with you later.
Peace.